if we are trying to sort of drive a new industrial revolution here, as it's often described, how do we make that more equitable across the UK? I mean, the government, previous governments as well, have looked at clusters, at catapults, at places where we can accelerate and provide opportunities for companies. Are those working? Could we do it better?
I mean, the answer is, if you look across the UK, there are areas of great strength distributed widely across the country. You look across southern Scotland, there's incredible quantum technologies, photonics.
Quantum technologies,
yeah,
quantum computing. And,
yeah, and satellite industry as well. You look in the Midlands, there's the Warwick, there's Advanced Manufacturing Centre. There are real areas of strength, renewable energy, northeast, for example.
Yep.
So when you draw the map, you do actually see widely distributed strengths. I think the mistake is to think that you can suddenly dump, as it were, a nanotechnology institute in any part of the country. What you have to do is build on strengths. And we've got great universities very widely distributed. They all have enormous areas of strength, and the best universities have areas of weakness as well. So I think the trick is not, as it were, just to try and create something out of the blue, because that's very difficult, but to work out where the areas of strength are and build on them. You know, Manchester, great university, lots of strengths. It's where the sort of
graphene.
Graphene. Yeah,
graphene.
I was thinking carbon, and graphene wouldn't come out. You're right. Just examples like that. We just have to build on them wherever they are.
There's a tendency to say what you need here are clusters, and then to approach that in a very sort of artificial way. But what is really at the heart of a cluster? Why does a cluster work? Because it's a network. It's a network of people who have some level of commonality or insight into what each other are doing and so forth. And if you look at almost anything that's been successful in this country or anywhere else over a long period, two things tend to emerge, right? Very strong networks of stakeholders who manage to work together across various different organizational divides, and then kind of long-term commitment to whatever it is that they're trying to achieve. And I think in this country, we can do better on both. On the first, we can do better at ensuring that the right people are connected across the country. If you look at the way that we support most innovation, we do it through R&D tax credits. And R&D tax credits are both an incredibly effective means, but also quite an obscure one. You don't really know who's been given an R&D tax credit. You might want to collaborate with them. Can't quite find that out. So there are other things you can do in order to make it easier for people to network within or across geographical clusters. And then there's this long-termism, which we haven't touched upon. The commander of the 82nd Airborne, a very famous US military unit, once told me that the most important thing for anything he did was stick-to-itiveness. Stick-to-itiveness. And I like that. And I think we need stick-to-itiveness in this country if we want to achieve things.